Hi everyone, it's Amanda from AmandaLynnChriska.com, and today I want to share with you the 4 signs an alcohol-free lifestyle may be for you. Now, myself, I've been a little over 3.5 years without alcohol, and I'm here to tell you, hands down, it is the best decision I've ever made in my life. And in the beginning, I never would have believed that. And if you don't believe that either, you're totally fine. It takes time for your beliefs to change, and that's why I want to share with you the 4 signs it may be for you. So number 1, you're a creative person or like a highly sensitive, high feeler. The reason I say that is because when we feel so much or when we have a lot of creative energy, we have a lot of feelings. So like sometimes we don't have places for those feelings to go. So we need an outlet. And that was me in the beginning, when I decided to quit drinking for good. And I was creative. I love to write, I love to dance, I love to be expressive, to paint. And I found that drinking alcohol stalled the time for me. And I made excuses. Like I never really did those things. I didn't have time to do those things because I was too busy drinking. I was too busy going out and partying. And that took away my peace. It took away my creative force, my energy. And right around the time I turned like 26, 27 years old, I knew in my heart that I wanted to work for myself, to be an entrepreneur, to start my own business. And that's something that I've always dreamed of doing. And when I was drinking, it was just taking that kind of time away from me focusing on those things, if that makes sense. So if you find yourself kind of in my boat, it may be time to start thinking about your relationship to alcohol. Number 2, you frequently, after a night of drinking, have friends or family tell you the next day that you were acting wild, you were not acting like yourself. I'm smiling because this was totally me. Like I would dance on tables at bars. I would, just be wild and fun Amanda. And I thought that drinking was the only route for me to be that way. And, I thought that it was the drinking that allowed me to be, this type of person when it was really just me all along. And the drinking kind of lowered my inhibitions to act that way. So you may be like trying to think yourself, is this me? And it is, sometimes when we drink, we think we are one way and other people don't see it that way. So if other people in your life are like, what happened last night? It may be time you might want to look at your relationship with alcohol. Number 3, the hangovers and the morning anxiety is just getting really old. For me, it was the same thing. I would wake up after drinking, my head would be spinning, I'd have a headache, I'd need water right away, of course, because I was dehydrated. And the anxiety, the racing thoughts, the, inner critic that tells me, oh, you drank too much again. You said you weren't going to drink, and I did. And so that inner critic tells us to stop drinking, but it tells us to keep drinking too. So for me, it was just a constant inner battle that I just didn't want to fight anymore. And to be honest, it was getting really old. And by the time I turned almost 30, that's when I stopped drinking. But at that time, I was just fed up with all the anxiety, all the hangovers. Like, I'll tell you one thing, being alcohol free, not having a hangover or not having a headache in years, it's pretty amazing, and it's definitely worth it. So if you're sick of your hangovers and your anxiety when you wake up, an alcohol-free lifestyle might be for you. And number 4, last but not least, this is an important one, and I wanted to make sure I get the point across. You have the slightest feeling that this might be for you, and you're not quite sure. Trust me, in the beginning, I wasn't sure myself. I didn't know if this was going to work. And trust me when I say I drank wine. I liked my wine. I enjoyed it. When there was an empty bottle at dinner, I would get anxious and be like, where's the next bottle of wine coming from? That was the type of drinker I was. And I was never, while I was never somebody that would classify myself as like a full-blown alcoholic, definitely not that way. You know, I was functioning, I had a job, and not to say that that there aren't people out there that are like that. But for me, I never had a problem with it, but it was just, it had like a hold on me and it wasn't healthy for me. And so if you have the slightest like interest, or maybe your soul is telling you, hey, maybe you should give this a try. I totally had that too in the beginning. And I did like 3 to 4, like 1 month to like a month and a half stints alcohol free. And then I went back to drinking, before I decided for good that I was done. I want to encourage you to listen to that voice and at least give it a try, because that might be the beginning of a wonderful journey for you. And I'm here as living proof that it's possible and you can totally do this. And so one thing I do want to share is that I'm inviting 3 women to work with me in October if you are ready to take the journey to live an alcohol-free lifestyle. I do have an alcohol freedom program. So anyone who's interested in exploring and looking for support for an alcohol-free lifestyle, I do offer coaching. If you are interested, I want you to DM me on Instagram. Follow me at Amanda Lynn Kryska, AmandaLynnKryska. I'll also link it in my notes in the notes below. I also would love you to subscribe to my channel and click the bell so you get regular updates. I will be posting regular content and updates on my channel weekly. So thank you so much for listening, and I look forward to hanging out with you again soon. Take care.